Hey, welcome back to the podcast, Evil Dungeon Master Universe. I am your host, Evil Dungeon Master Vince. It's Wednesday, middle of the week. Time for a new podcast. Hopefully, you are having a good week. We're one step closer to the weekend, which means gaming, maybe. I don't know. If you have a game this weekend, awesome. If you don't, well, I'm sorry. Maybe you'll have a game another time. But anyway, may all your hits be crits this weekend. And hopefully, you have a great game if you have one. So everything's doing well here. Putting out articles and solos and stuff like that on my blog, evildm.com, which you can go visit and subscribe to. Appreciate the people that have been doing that, and the subscriber count's been going up for there. So that's awesome. Those who've been listening to the podcast and downloading, I appreciate it. The numbers slowly go up as more people discover what I'm doing, and rekindling AD&D on a daily basis here on this channel. So it's a lot of fun looking through the books on my own and trying to find something to talk about each day. And I like that it breaks it up into small chunks. That's what most people tell me as well. They like the small little 10 to 15 minute podcasts so they can just listen. I guess the word is consume while they're doing a break at work or a little walk or something, and they can enjoy just listening to me talk about something that they can possibly use for their campaigns. Today, we are going to flip open. Ask the DM at theevildm.com is my email address in case you want to email me. Thank you to those that have been emailing and giving me supportive comments, because we're all about gaming here and not clickbait like some other channels. Today, we're flipping open the Unearthed Arcana around page 98-99. We got the Cloak of the Bat. Now, looking at this item without reading it for you at the moment would be an excellent item for a thief. An assassin as well. I think these two classes would really benefit from this Cloak of the Bat. So the Cloak of the Bat is fashioned of dark brown or black cloth. I would possibly make it black cloth because that fits the bat motif a little bit better than brown. A cloak of this type is not readily noticeable as unusual, so it comes off as pretty much pretty much normal cloak. It will radiate both enchantment and alteration in equal proportions. Interesting. That kind of they get into what it radiates when you get detect magic. The cloak bestows upon its wearer a 90% probability of being invisible when the wearer is stationary within a shadowy or dark place. So you can hide in shadows as long as you're in the shadows, technically, or in a very dark place. There's a 90% chance that nobody will spot you while you're standing very still. Think, Batista in the Guardians of the Galaxy. No, that was in a dark place. The wearer is able to hang upside down from the ceiling just as a bat does and maintain the same chance of visibility. So remember when I was saying this would be perfect for an assassin? Here's one of the reasons why. One of the reasons why. Get in there, go hang upside down in the dark, I don't know, rafters of the barn or the rafters of the building that you're going to assassinate somebody. Hang upside down with this cloak in the dark, 90% chance that nobody's going to see you, and a very good chance nobody's going to be looking up into the rafters of a building when they walk in, because nobody really does that. So there you go. There's another chance that they're not going to see you. By holding the edge of the garment, the wearer is able to fly at 15 inches speed. If so desired, the wearer can actually transform into an ordinary bat. All possessions worn or carried will be likewise part of the transformation, and fly accordingly. So this is another reason why it's perfect for an assassin or even a thief at this matter, because hanging in the rafters like a bat, hiding in the shadows, 90% probability of not being seen in the dark place, shadows, whatever. Get in there, swoop down, stab, kill the person, stab or grab whatever you're supposed to steal, put it in your pouch, turn into a bat, fly the heck out of there, and you're gone. And they'll never know. They'll just see a bat flying away and thinking it's a vampire. Chances are that's what's going to happen. Flying either with the cloak or an ordinary bat can only be accomplished in darkness. So that's another thing you have to worry about. Either under the night sky or in the lightless or near lightless environment underground. So that's the drawback about this. If you're going to use this, you're going to go at night. Chances are, if you're going to assassinate somebody, like, uh, whatever, because you're an assassin, or you're going to go steal something because you're a thief, you're probably going to do it at night and not during the middle of the bright day. I mean, if you're one of those thieves that likes to do that, or an assassin that's bold and said, I'm going to do it during the day, then by all means, you can't use this cloak. But perfect planning usually means at night. So you're probably going to be doing this at night. I mean, you're a character, you do what you want, right? Let's see here. Where were we? Either of the flying powers is usable for up to 1 hour at a time, but after a flight, either type, of any duration, the cloak will not bestow any flying power for a light period of time. So, you could do it for an hour or whatever, and then you have to rest. Pretty much the cloak has to rest for an hour. Now, I'm not quite sure why they added that stipulation to it, though I would probably tweak this a little bit, not do the have to rest that amount of time. I might change it to a couple uses per day as opposed to resting time period. Though I don't think maybe it's not that big of a deal. I'm just kind of going off the cuff here, thinking about this of ways to change this. Now I understand, yeah, you're a bat, you can only be in the day, nighttime, so that's perfect limitation there. I think the resting thing maybe can be. I don't know. I don't. I would probably just leave it alone. You're right. The cloak also provides protection, just as a robe of protection, at a +2, and this benefit extends to the wearer even when he or she is not in bat form. So you do get an extra bonus on there of having a +2 for your armor class of protection, uh, which is actually pretty good. You can use that as a thief or an assassin. An extra +2 on your armor class will definitely help you in the long run. So the Cloak of the Bat is probably an item I don't think I've seen given out too much. I have seen it in one campaign where we were playing. The dungeon master was actually, his name was Dan Dragon at that, which I always thought was cool because his last name was Dragon and he played Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, he gave it out in one of the campaigns we were playing in. It was actually kind of fun. It wasn't my character. No, the character had the Cloak of the Bat, but I don't. He didn't follow it like that because we were all like 12, 13 at the time. So he basically just, I think he just eyeballed it and said, "Yeah, you have the following abilities to do it." And I remember the person who had it kept changing into a bat and flying around at night and hiding and trying to get away and then trying to get into places, but they kept going back and forth between bat and human. So it I don't think he was following it too much because I remember I looking that up and thinking that, like, whatever. Sometimes you just, the DM is the DM. They can do whatever the hell they want. It's their campaign, right? Trying to figure out what it is. Miscellaneous magic item. I think the cloak is under that. No, it's not. Cloak of 1,000 experience points. Yeah. So 1,000 experience points for it. It's a pretty cool magical item. One that you don't often see. I want to add some of these things into my campaigns now that I'm looking at all these different little magical items going on and different spells I'm finding, and it's fun to just take the book and look at it and read it and to come back to it. And then when you do these podcasts like this, you sit here talking about different things, and you're just like, huh, and it makes you think. When I did Roll for Initiative, it taught me a lot about Advanced Dungeons and Dragons that I missed over the years, because when you play these games so often and so much, you often kind of blow things over and forget things because you're used to a certain style of play. And then when you go back and reread things, it's like, whoa, I completely forgot about that. And then you're like, you look at it from a different point of view. Maybe it's because you're getting older and you want to play a little bit different or a little bit closer to the rules. Definitely not, any of that bro SR crap. But I like to generally follow the book because the books are the guidelines, and I'm the person running the game. I don't run the game to the letter of the law because you can't. You can't really run any game letter of the law. There has to be some type of house rule or some type of way to make you and your group a little bit more fun, I guess. When it comes to AD&D, there is tons of house rules from people out there, and there's no exception here. So, all right, tell me what you think about this cloak in the comments. Have you used it in your campaign? Would you use it in your campaign? And what do you think about it? I want to know. Don't forget to head over to Spotify, and you can comment there or check the polls out on some of the podcasts. There's some polls on the previous ones if you have Spotify app. If you have a Spotify app, follow my podcast on there because lots of people have been, and the numbers are growing up, gaining up, going up. I'm going to head out, so let's keep it original, keep it old school. Good night, and God bless everybody.